Hi, I'm CF3 Loyal, still staying at home every other Saturday, bringing you the 26th quintessential Rangers vlog with a couple of guest appearances on True Blues Loyal and at the weekend on Jersnet. So thank you very much everyone for watching. If you're enjoying, please do continue to watch, share and subscribe to my channel. On to tonight's game, which finished Rangers 1, Lech Poznań 0. Wasn't a vintage performance, but it was typical of a Steven Gerrard Rangers team and very professional. Potentially a reality check for some supporters, including myself, who are predicting 3-0 victories. A reminder for everyone that there are no easy games in Europe. Lech Poznań were not a bad side. They finished second in the Polish League last season and possibly the best team that we've played against so far this season. Our players looked tired. Much better second half, certainly came into the game, and it was a fantastic goal to seal the victory. Steven Gerrard described Borna Barisic's cross as wonderful, and it was a fantastic cross from Borna Barisic, who was delivering them throughout the game, but Alfredo Morelos, who came on as a substitute, putting his head in where it hurts very bravely to head home the only goal of the game, which equalled Alan McCoist's all-time European top goal scoring record for Rangers, which the man himself was on BT Sport tonight to comment on and looked very happy for Alfredo Morelos, even if there was a few jokes that Ali's goals were all scored in the Champions League. The most important thing tonight was the 3 points, another €570,000 in the bank, but as a sprucey bonus, Scotland did overtake Ukraine to go 11th in the coefficient table. That means if we remain 11th, that Scotland next season, whoever finishes top will go into the Champions League without having to do any qualification rounds, which would be excellent if we do go ahead and win the league. Word of caution though, there are 2 Ukrainian teams in the Champions League, Shakhtar Donetsk and Dynamo Kiev, so we need to be watching those with a keen eye. This all came in the same week that it was announced that Scottish football would have 5 representatives in European competitions next season. Now, you might be sitting there thinking that's absolutely fantastic for Scottish football. Not the greatest for Rangers, and there's a reason why. It means that every victory from a Scottish team will actually have less points. So there's an over-reliance now on the Old Firm. There will be a dependency on the other 3 non-Old Firm teams in Scottish football to be contributing towards the coefficiency next season. Okay, let me give you some stats. So Lech Poznań recorded 0 shots on target this season. This is a team that had 19 shots on goal against Benfica last week. In fact, we've only had 1 shot against us in the last 5 games. 0 in the group stages. That's the difference when you have a quality goalkeeper and quality centre backs though. Our overall record ain't too shabby either this season. Played 17, won 15, drew twice, 14 clean sheets, 5 in a row, and only 4 goals conceded all season. That is unbelievable stats. I keep talking about our identity, but our players know exactly what their roles are on the pitch. My mate Ewan texted me tonight during the game and said that lockdown and the break that we had between last season and this season kicking off probably really helped us, because it allows Steven Gerrard and his coaching team to really get their ideas and their philosophy across to the players, and you can really see that on the pitch. It's great to see. Let's look at tonight's squad. There was 5 changes in the starting 11. Balogun came in for Helander, Barisic came in for Bassey, Kamara came in for Jack, Arfield came in for Aribo, and lastly Roof came in for Defoe. It's a great strength and depth that you can rotate the squad this much without compromising the quality. I actually predicted 4 of the 5. The one that I hadn't predicted was that Kemar Roof would start ahead of Alfredo Morelos tonight. I was a little bit surprised when I seen that Alfredo Morelos wasn't in the team sheet tonight. He's a player that I think really suits the way that we play in Europe, and he gives us a real focal point in that number 9 position, which I think we lacked when Kemar Roof was on. As for Kemar Roof, not the greatest night for Kemar Roof. He was a bit rusty, but we can expect that as a player returning from injury. He had that one big chance where he headed the ball against the ground and then tried an overhead kick. He really should have left that for Ryan Kent, who was running into it. But not a great night for Kemar Roof in what has been a great week. Him His Europa League goal scoring record lasted a mere 1 week. Yes, that's right. Jordi Gomez scored from 56 metres this evening to overtake Kemar Roof's record that he scored against Standard Liège. I don't want to go through every player individually and give you my thoughts on them, but I do want to give a very special mention for Glenn Kamara, who I thought was my man of the match and an absolute standout on the pitch. On the ball tonight, he was very calm, but very forward thinking. He just looked head and shoulders above everyone else in that pitch. I keep on saying this. I hold my hands up. I said before the ball was kicked this season that I would have taken the money for Glenn Kamara. And I'll say what I said last week. Rangers, get that boy tied down on a new contract. Let's have a little look at the substitutions tonight. So we brought on a Colombian internationalist, Nigerian internationalist, Scotland internationalist, and Brandon Barker. Now, I laugh because Brandon Barker came on for Ryan Kent, who was looking a little bit leggy and hasn't influenced games as much recently as he was at the earlier parts of the season. But I'm glad he did go off as a substitute because he needed that breather ahead of a tough trip to Rugby Park on Sunday. But Brandon Barker coming on for him potentially shows the one area of the squad that doesn't have the same strength and depth of quality. And as we possibly look ahead to January, it's the one area that we could potentially go and strengthen. When you consider we've got guys like Barker, Middleton, Jones and Greg Stewart all there, we could see them leave and bring in one quality addition. Looking ahead to Kilmarnock on Sunday at Rugby Park, I actually listened to the Record podcast this week, and one of the things that they pointed out was the 2 games in the league that we have dropped points came away from home. And as I said earlier on, I was on the Gersnet podcast last week and we spoke about the recent history at Rugby Park. Of course, there was a 2-1 defeat last season. It's a very tough place to go. Potentially a bigger match than this evening. But it was good, as I said earlier on, to give some players a much needed breather, both from the subs but also the players who didn't start. And I'm predicting 4 changes from this evening's lineup. So the team that I'm going with is Alan McGregor in goals, a back 4 of James Tavernier, Connor Goldson, Philippe Hollander coming in for Leon Balogun and Borna Barisic, and a midfield 3 of Ryan Jack coming in for Stephen Davis, Glenn Kamara retaining his place after a man of the match performance this evening, and Scott Arfield retaining his place in the team for the much needed energy that he gives us. And then a front 3 of Joe Aribo coming in for Yanis Hadji, who didn't have a particularly great game this evening. Alfredo Morelos coming in on the back of his goal for Kemar Roof. Hopefully Alfredo Morelos can take that form into the league. And Ryan Kent retaining his place also. That's all for tonight's video, which I would like to dedicate this evening to absent friends. Thank you very much for watching. I am CF3 Loyal. Stay safe, stay staunch.